Hello dear students. Today I will told you about fundamental concept of organic reaction mechanism. As you know that organic chemistry reactions are more complex than inorganic reactions. One more thing, you know that here bond formation and breaking of bond take place. Also, the energy also distributed. So nowadays, students, this is the most important part to know the fundamental concept which are related to organic reaction mechanism that are very complex. So that's why, first of all, I want to told you the fundamental concept. Now, dear students, the organic reaction mechanism basically followed two paths. Path number one, that means the reaction should be complete either by path one, either by path two. The path one basically known as concerted mechanism. Concerted mechanism. Look about this, what is the condition here? In path 1, here reactants are basically two types. One is known as substrate, second is known as reagent. Reagent. Both are basically reactant. Look at here, these both are reactant. One is known as substrate, one is known as reagent. This is basically less active part, and this is basically more active part. So, as I told you that here the substrate is basically carbon containing molecules. Here the reagents is more active, which attack on the substrate, and what happens here basically formation of activated complex. Formation of activated complex, or it is also known as transition state. That means the state between two reactant and product is known as transition state. This is basically unstable and will generate product. This also may be formed byproduct. Just like one example, in case of photosynthesis, CO2 plus water are reacted and they form product glucose and byproduct oxygen. So this is basically path 1. Maybe the reaction mechanism follow this path. When reagents attack on the substrate, they will form activated complex, which are also known as transition state. These states are basically unstable because the energy of each state is more. So that's why they break into product, and maybe sometimes they also break into byproduct. So one simple examples I want to told you, which are related to also board examinations. So look the condition. In case of SN2 mechanism, that is nucleophilic substitution, which follows second order kinetics. So for example of this SN2 reaction, S for substitution, N for nucleophilic, and 2 for second order kinetics. Here one examples are taken. This example is basically known as methyl chloride. So this is methyl chloride. Now, when a reaction with aqueous KOH take place, here OH minus attack to the back side of carbon, and this will form one state that is known as transition state. This state shows the leaving nature of Cl and attachment of OH. So this is known as transition state. Now, dear students, look at here. This carbon form 5 bond 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bond, which is not possible because they have only space for 4 bond. Due to absence of d orbitals, they cannot expand their octet. So that's why this is unstable. And now this break in like this and form the product. This product is basically inverted product. So that's why the main basic points you have to focus on SN2 mechanism when you read the halogen chapter, that the product is inverted. Here inverted means the Cl leave from this side and OH attack to the back side. So that's why the product is inverted. So this will follow the path 1, that is known as concerted mechanism. Now students, let us focus on the second path, that is non-concerted mechanism, in which the intermediate is formed after non-concerted mechanism, in which what happens here again? Substrate plus reagent it will react. That means reagent attack on the substrate. This is also can say the substrate are those molecules on which attack take place, and the reagent is basically those chemical species which attack on the substrate. So here also activated complex or transition state is formed. Transition state is formed. It is also unstable. Now this will generate intermediate, which you have to know. Here the intermediate may be carbocation, may be carbanion, or may be free radical. So intermediates may be carbocation, carbanion, and free radical. Now after this intermediate, one more thing noted down that in these case intermediate you have to follow the stability rule, which can be known by after knowing the inductive effect, hyperconjugation, resonance. Now after the intermediate, the product will be formed. Look at here, this is a non-concerted mechanism because substrate and reagents do not directly attach with the product because due to formation of intermediates. So these two paths may be followed by when you learn the organic chemistry reaction mechanism. So two paths may be followed. Now look the example. The example of this reaction is basically SN1 reaction, which you have to know in chapter halogen. This is also most important reactions of this chapter. Here again S is substitution, N for nucleophile and 1 is for first order kinetics. So look the condition. Here the alkyl should be tertiary, CH3, CH3 and CH3. So this is known as, this I also told you, tertiary butyl chloride, and this is basically substrate. Now in presence of aqueous KOH, first of all the breaking of bond takes place toward more electronegative elements, and this will generate one chemical species that is known as carbocation. So this is known as carbocation, which is the reaction intermediate. So this you have to know this mechanism. Now this carbon contains 3 bonds, that's why this carbon is sp2 hepatide and having the bond angle 120 degree. Now, so this is the basically step first. One more thing note down that here the breaking of bond takes place, so that's why this step is slow. And I told you in chapter 4, that is chemical kinetics, the order of reaction can be decided by the slowest step. Here the slow step is first step, so that's why here one molecules are involved, and hence the order of reaction is 1 for SN1 reaction. Now in second step what happens? These carbocations are attacked by OH minus. This is the step second, and it is fast reaction because positive and negative ions are interacted very fastly. So that's why the product is OH can replace Cl here, and the product is alcohol. So this is known as tertiary butyl alcohol. So one question may be raised: how can you form tertiary butyl alcohol? So by this way, you can form tertiary butyl alcohol by using SN1 mechanism. So this mechanism follow two paths. In one path, intermediate is formed, that is carbocation, and this is basically 3 degree carbocations, and here it is intermediate. So that's why this follow the second path in reaction mechanism. So these are all about the path. Either it may be path 1 or it may be path 2 for the organic reaction mechanism. And this is the first example which you have to learn in halogen chapter. It is also very important for examination point of view. Now let us focus on the fundamental concept which you have to know to learn the organic chemistry very well. So first of all, you have to know the bond fusion. That means how the breaking of bond takes place in a covalent compound, that is organic compound, to bond fusion. This bond fusion is also known as bond cleavage. Bond fusion is also known as bond cleavage. So first of all, you have to know that bond cleavage in a covalent molecule, in a covalent bond. Second, second thing you have to focus. Second thing you have to focus on the type of reagent. The type of reagent. These reagent may be electrophile, and nucleophile. So look at here. First of all, you have to know the bond fusion. how the bond fusion take place in a covalent bond. Then you have to know the type of reagents. The reagents may be electrophile or may be nucleophile. Electrophile means electron deficient chemical species and nucleophile is electron rich chemical species. This can be denoted like this also, E plus, and this can be denoted like this, Nu negative. Then you have to know the reaction rate. The reaction rate, that means by which the reaction takes place. That means the speed of the reaction. This may be slow, moderate, and may be fast. Then you have to know the very important points, that is electronic displacement, or you can say electron displacement. Electronic displacement, it may be permanent, it may be temporary. Then electronic displacement I told you about by inductive effect. Inductive effect. Then you have to know about the hyperconjugation. Then you have to know about the resonance, also known as mesomeric effect. Mesomeric effect. And you have to know about electromeric effect. Electromeric effect. This effect is also known as magic effect. This I also told you last day. Magic effect. Then you have to know about the type of reaction. Type of reaction. In this, you have to know, in type of reactions, you have to know about addition reaction, substitution reaction, elimination reaction, and rearrangement reaction. Rearrangement reaction. So these type of reactions you have to know to learn the organic reaction mechanism. So these are the fundamental concepts of organic chemistry which you have to learn to understand the reaction mechanism. First, bond fusion. This is basically two types: homolytic or heterolytic. Then type of reagents. The reagents may be electron deficient, may be electron rich. So that's why electron deficient are known as electrophile and electron rich are known as nucleophile. Then reaction rate, it may be slow, it may be fast, it may be moderate. This I told you in the chapter 4 chemical kinetics. Reactions are basically three types depending upon the speed. May be fast, may be slow, may be moderate. Then I told you about electronic displacement. In this displacement, this I told you in class 11, inductive effect, hyperconjugation, resonance, that is also known as mesomeric effect, electromeric effect, this is also known as magic effect, inductive effect, basically permanent effect, and this effect generally operate in sigma bond. Then you have to know about the type of reaction. In the type of reactions, the basic reactions are addition reaction, substitution reactions, elimination reactions, and rearrangement reactions. Rearrangement basically take place in formation of carbocations, where the more stability of carbon cations may be generated from the less stability carbocations. So these are the basic fundamental concepts which you have to know to learn the organic chemistry. Now students, let us focus on the first concept, that is bond fusion, which is also known as bond cleavage in a covalent bond. So bond fusion in a covalent bond may be take place either by homolytic or by heterolytic. So first of all, we have to focus on the homolytic bond fusion. So look at here, as the name indicates, homo means, that means just like similar, lytic means fusion, breaking. This may be also known as symmetrical bond fusion, symmetrical bond fusion, also known as non-polar bond fusion, non-polar bond fusion, and also known as homolysis. Homolysis. So these are the some common name of homolytic fusion. Now look the conditions. Here what happens basically? Now before starting the homolytic bond fusion, I want to told you about the, you know that the organic compound has covalent bond, and the covalent bond formed between two atoms due to sharing of electrons. If the sharing of electrons take place between similar atoms having the difference in electronegativity, that difference in electronegativity 0. In that condition, the bond formed is non-polar. The bond is non-polar. If difference is also very small, difference is basically very small, in that condition also the bond is almost non-polar. And if the difference is very large, that means large, you can say large, difference is large, in that condition the bond is polar. So this you know that the covalent bond may be polar or non-polar, and the organic chemistry basically have covalent bond. That's why this is the basic requirement of learn the organic chemistry, to know about the bonding covalent compound, which are basically organic compound. Now look about the homolysis. What happens here? Equal distribution of shared electron pair, shared electron pair between two atoms take place. That's why this is known as homolytic bond fusion. Here equal distribution of electron take place between two atoms. Look the condition, Cl. This is formed by two electrons, one electron from Cl and one electron from this Cl. This can also written like this. Now in case of homolysis, the bond break like this. The shared pair electrons are distributed equally to both the atom like this. This arrow is known as fish hook arrow, are also known as half curved arrow. The bond fusion in case of homolysis are shown like this. Now after breaking the bond, Cl got its own electron, this Cl got also its own electron, and this is known as free radical. So one important thing you have to notice that in case of homolysis, free radicals are generated. There is no charge on the atoms, and these free radicals are the reactive part in case of homolysis. So these are all about the homolysis. Now, how you know that the given reactions follow the homolysis? So in that condition, you have to notice down about the condition for homolytic bond fusion. In bond fusion, now the condition for homolysis. So look at here. First condition, H nu or light is written. Second, non-polar solvent will favor the homolysis. Non-polar solvent, that may be CCl4, may be benzene. Third, radical initiator. Radical, that is free radical initiator. Free radical initiator, such as TEL. This is known as tetraethylate. Formula is C2H5 and P. When this break, this produce C2H5 dot plus Pb dot. So this is also a radical initiator which initiates the formation of free radicals or peroxide. The common peroxide is benzoyl peroxide, C6H5 C6H5, or you can write like this: C6H5 C double bond O C double bond C6H5. So this is known as benzoyl peroxide. One more conditions: vapor phase. The reactant are vapor phase. In that conditions, it may be also follow the homolysis. Fifth point: temperature more than 300 degrees centigrade or equal to 300 degrees centigrade will also follow the homolysis. One more point noted down: electrolysis. This I told you in class 11, Kolbe electrolysis. This will also follow the free radicals formation mechanism, that is homolysis. One more important thing: the difference in electronegativity either should be 0 or very small. So now look at the student with the conditions. H nu and light is given or written on the arrow. In that condition, non-polar solvent may be take there. Radical initiator may be peroxide, may be TL. Vapor phase may be given more than 300 degrees centigrade temperatures, or electrolysis or difference in electronegativity is 0 or very small is given. If these conditions are given, it will indicate the homolysis condition and formation of free radicals. Now the example where you basically know about the homolysis, that is formation of free radicals. The common example of the homolysis: the examples of homolysis is basically addition of HBr in presence of peroxide, peroxide to unsymmetrical alkene. This will follow anti-Marconi co-pool. So this is a basic example of addition of HBr in presence of peroxide to the unsymmetrical alkene. Is the basic example of free radicals formation, that is homolysis. One more example. So this is very important for examination point of view. Second example, Kolbe electrolysis. Kolbe electrolysis. So these are two common examples of homolysis which you have to know for your board examination. About Kolbe electrolysis, I also told you in class 11. Now students, these all are about homolysis. Now second, heterolysis.